Good afternoon, everyone. How are you today? I am Jazz from Mystic Priestess School. And as we are Monday today, it is time for a goddess nudge. And also, this is a new moon in Cancer. So it's not only a goddess nudge, but we're also doing the oracle reading for the month ahead to see what kind of energies we are going to play with this month. You know that what is really important to me in the way that I teach, the way that I coach, is not about predictive um, astro reading or predictive tarot reading. What is important to me is that you become very conscious and aware of the energies that are available to you so that it might feel for you that you're swimming with the current instead of trying to doggy paddle against the current and not getting anywhere, right? My goal is that you stop that inner struggle, that you stop that inner fighting, and that you just find your own flow in life. So let's see what the energies are all about this month so that you can find your own flow. So this new moon in Cancer is a second new moon in Cancer in a row. The last new moon in Cancer that we've had was at 0 degree Cancer, so at the very beginning of Cancer, of the sign of Cancer. And now we have a new moon at the end of the sign of Cancer. So if you've been going through a whole lot of stuff these past 28 days or so, this past lunation, it's not done yet. But this new moon is your opportunity to set a new intention to really deepen the themes that you started working with last month so that you can really release them and heal them. Cancer is a water sign, and water is linked to emotions. So think of this as a really, really good time to deal with old, stuck emotions, old things that trigger you, old patterns that really don't serve you. This is a time to really let that go. Now, the Cancer sign, you know, the symbol is the crab, right? So a little crabby with the two little claws. So it's a lot of really good emotion healing. Cancer people, where you have Cancer in your sun chart, is all about that emotional capacity, that loving, that being together. It's about family time. But also with those pincers, it's knowing what is a healthy boundary for you. So allowing love in, and also everything else that is not there, just, you know, harden that shell and use that pincers and make a decision as much as you can to walk away from those emotional situations that don't serve you. And what would that be for you? So the first thing that I would like you to do as your homework, because you know that when I do oracle readings, when I do coaching, it's not just about receiving information and say, oh, that was nice. I want you to take action, because you will only transform your life by taking aligned action. So the first aligned action for you to do is to inventory those situations and see what nourishes your soul and what does not, and release what does not nourish your soul. So right now it can look like, and these are only suggestions, but it can look like going through your Facebook feed and unsubscribing to those people who are really triggering and who are creating a whole lot of anxiety within you. Do you really need that? For some people, it's good to have different opinions because it helps build more resilience, but for some other people, it's just too much. And there's like craziness going on right now in terms of people saying all kinds of comments that are ungrounded and really harmful. So do you want to continue giving your energy to that? So one thing would be to unsubscribe. Block a few people for 30 days. If you don't want to unfriend them, just block them for 30 days. Let your central nervous system come back to calm and center so that you know what's important for you, and let go of the rest. And then you can also inventory other things in your life, in your relationship, in your job, in the way that you run your family, because, you know, this is a really long March break, right? We've had people in our house, if you're used to being alone in the house, have the kids in the house for a very long time now. Do you need more healthy boundaries so that you can feel that you're still yourself as a mother, um, as a primary caregiver in your household? Or do you feel that you can't even go pee on your own? Do you need to have more boundaries around that? Those are healthy boundaries. So take a look at that, inventory that, and see what new action you can implement. Don't just wait for the magic wand. Don't just wait for something to happen miraculously that's going to change. Make a choice, take a decision, and implement the new action. No, it's not easy, but you can do it. Stephanie, so good to see you. So yeah, you delete negative people all the time. That's good, because there's no law that says that you have to keep those people in your circle all the time, right? So that's good. I've muted a lot of people lately as well. And I try not to scroll through Facebook a whole lot because it doesn't do much to my day. It doesn't help deepen my inner practice. So those are the signs of Cancer. The other thing that I really wanted to highlight in those patterns of healing is a theme that came a lot with my clients lately, and that is the theme of trust. So in difficulty in trusting others. So here's what happened. When I was with my client in my backyard, and my beautiful little dog here, Maya, was with us in the backyard. We're social distancing, the client and I. And Maya was off leash in the backyard. We don't have fences in the backyard, and there's a highway in behind. So I don't trust her, as cute as she is, I don't trust her 100% to stay in the backyard, because she'll follow her nose, she'll follow the trail of something, and go roll and poop somewhere else, right? Because she's a dog and she loves perfume, as I call it. So this is a pattern that I don't trust her 100%. So, of course, this is very practical in a way, because it's for her own safety. I don't want her rolling in perfume, and I don't want her going on the highway, and I don't want her going closer to the neighbor's kids, just in case something happens. I don't want her. She's not one who would bite, but you never know how the kids would react to her if they would go after her, and she would have a reaction like, "Don't touch me," and that could be a very sad event that could be prevented. So as I was thinking about this, and my client was also talking about trusting others, then I was able to self-reflect and self-review my own relationship with my dog, which is a lack of trust. And in that, I can really see that in my lack of trust, it's also because my belief system and my mindset is about giving energy to a situation that I do not want to happen, right? Because I don't want her to go across the street. I don't want her to go on the highway. I don't want her to go roll in perfume. I don't want her to be bothering the neighbors. So there's a lot of, I don't want this, I don't want that, and this is like the negative situation that I don't want to happen. And the lack of trust is really giving energy to that situation that I do not want. So what would happen if instead I would give more energy to the situation that I do want, and energize the fact that actually off leash, she can stay in the yard, and she's done that for years now. So can I release my own need for control or my own fears, because that is fear-based. Lack of trust is fear-based. So can I release some of my fears and heal some of my fears so that I can move more into trust? So that's a very mundane, very small situation about the trust between my dog and I, my trust towards her, because she trusts and loves unconditionally. But how can you put that in your own relationships now, in your own life? If you are experiencing lack of trust, can you inventory what the heck that is all about? What scenario are you giving your energy and your power to? And are you willing to step away from that mindset and to switch that mindset so that you can move into a place where you can trust more and love more? And that still means having those healthy boundaries, right? It doesn't mean to just let everything go all the time. You can still, like for my dog, I can still keep a watchful eye, but without that fear, that dread, that inner trust. Does that make sense? So I'm wondering, what can that be for you? Is that helpful, that you can think of lack of trust in terms of, learning to trust your dog in a way? So let me know if that's helpful. So that's kind of the energies of Cancer. So healing the deep emotions, healing the mindsets, moving more into trust, into divine trust, and having those healthy boundaries, not the unhealthy boundaries that keep you in fear, but boundaries that come from a place of love. So it's more from, because I love myself, I choose to. Because I love myself, I choose to, as opposed to, oh my God, stuff is falling apart, I don't trust anything, and therefore I choose to. So can you see the difference between the two? So Shelley says, good, it's helpful, I'm glad. Okay, so let's move into now the Oracle card. And by the way, Shelley, as soon as I saw your name and your comment, there's a whole tingle that happened at the top of my head. So know that your guides are with you, your goddesses are with you as well. And a grandmother is also there for you. So grandma says hi. If you want to tune into your grandmother's message, this would be a good moon for you to do that, because she seems to be quite close for you at this time. Okay, so tarot reading. So this is a new moon. We're setting the intention. Let's see what, and I'm using this time, not the tarot, but I'm using Oracle cards again. It's Gateway cards from Denise Lynn. So the first card is a card for the new moon. So the intention setting, the healing potential that we have for this lunation. And it's kind of close to what I was saying. It's emerging into grace. I don't know if you can see this. I open my soul to grace. You're very welcome, Shelley. Emerging into grace. So it's kind of a sleepy time, and you see the water, which is part of Cancer, as I was saying, and the animals there, the lotus, which is very, very deep image in terms of personal transformation, because the lotus flower comes from the mud and the muck at the bottom of the pond, and has to grow through all that mud and that muck and push through the water to finally flower at the top. And that is often part of our transformation. We have to go through that healing, and it's yucky, and it feels awful, and it's not comfortable at all. But the more that we choose to move through all that watery emotion, when you flower out the surface, it is so delicious. It is so wonderful. So that is part of this new moon message, is that for you to emerge, you have to agree to be uncomfortable. Transformation is uncomfortable. I'm not promising you rainbows and lollipops and unicorns and everything. When you look at your own beliefs, when you want to change and transform your own beliefs, you have to really face the fears that you have, the beliefs that you have, things that you've developed over the years, and say, yeah, I created that, I did that, and it totally sucks. And you have to move into self-forgiveness and into self-love, and it's not easy. Who would not rather having a magic wand and say, you're healed? That's not the way it works. The way that the true healing happens is when you accept to go through your own muck and rise up and open and flower on top of everything that you've been through. So that is the theme, really, is emerging into grace, knowing that all of the discomfort that you're going through is going to be worthwhile, is going to bring you into a deeper space of peace and grace and serenity. So do not be afraid of the discomfort. And if you are in that place of discomfort, remember, I'm here as your coach, and I do have spots open in my calendar to mentor you if you want to. Now, the second card is for the first quarter moon, so more for next week at the first quarter moon. And with the first quarter moon, we take action. And the action, quite interesting. So, the action that we're invited to do is clutter clearing, renewing your life. So, again, letting go of those big emotions, mindsets, those blocks, quite literally, right? What blocks you, let them go. This is a perfect moon, the perfect lunation to do that. So what is that going to look like for you? Are you going to go through your closet and let go of the clothes that no longer fit? Not just because of the COVID weight, but maybe that clothes has not fit for a long time and you're still keeping the jeans up from high school because you might want to fit in them one day, but is that really necessary, right? Or you might have received some gifts in the past from Aunt so-and-so and Uncle so-and-so, but every time you look at that gift, you go like, ooh. Do you still want to keep that just because you don't want to hurt someone else by regifting that gift? Or is it time for you to let that go? So the invitation with clearing clutter to renew your life is clearing all those blocks that are in your mindset, that are in your emotions, and also in your physical environment. Because whatever happens on the inside also happens on the outside. The reflection of your environment, so your environment is a reflection of your inner self. So if there's stuff that is emotionally draining for you, let them go. So clutter clear next week. You don't have to do that this week. You can start thinking about it this week perhaps, but the invitation next week especially is to clear that clutter. And it said, radiant vitality is filling my life. Radiant vitality is filling my life. Because when you let go of all that weight, more vitality can flow through you. The next card is a card for the full moon. And the full moon, how interesting. So you decided, so from like the story that is building out card by card is right now with the new moon, you choose. So you're invited to make a decision about renewing your life, about starting something new. It can be your business, your relationships, the way that you run your family, all of that, right? So make that choice. What do you want to emerge in your life? What state of being do you want to emerge in your life? So keeping that in mind, let go of everything that is not aligned with that. Let go of all the blocks. And then by the full moon, you can launch your new journey. By the full moon, energetically, you'll be ready for the seeds that you're planting today. And wouldn't it be nice if we could travel too, again, a little bit? So the card says, I am an intrepid traveler sailing forth into the universe. I'm an intrepid traveler sailing forth into the universe. So there's quite a bit of change that seems to be in the cards and in the energy for the full moon, but you won't be able to leave on this journey, whether again it's in your family, in your relationship, in your business. You won't be able to leave in this journey if you still have all this clutter weighing you down. So do that work, especially next week, with clearing your mindsets and your beliefs and those old emotions that keep you stuck. And by the end of this lunation cycle, by the end of the new moon, time to relax. And again, you see the theme of water. In almost all of the cards, there's a water theme of this lunation in Cancer. So by the end of this Cancer lunation is savoring pleasure, taking a bath, a big bubble bath, and just soaking in all that transformation work, all the hard work that you've done, and savoring that. It says, I fully embrace bliss in my life. I fully embrace bliss in my life. So that's a story of this lunation. So set your intention today, between today and tomorrow. So we're Monday and Tuesday. That's kind of the energy of this new moon in Cancer, especially about healing old emotional wounds, healing old blocks. So take an inventory and see what that can be for you, so that the outcome is going to be that you're going to feel more joyful, more in the flow, and blissful in your life. And then you allow it to unfold, knowing that you have some aligned actions to do. And the aligned action is to clean up your mess, clean up your clutter internally and externally, and be willing to leave on that journey, because that journey, you will not be able to experience it if you stay where you are. If everything stays the same, you will not have the outcome, right? So you have to be willing to do something different in your life. So that's the story. So Shelly's saying you definitely need to let some stuff go. Good. So this is the month to do that. And remember, if you need help, reach out. I am here for you. So do you want, we still have like about 10 minutes, no more than 10 minutes. So if you want a card, let me know and I will choose a card for you that will personalize this message for you. Something for you to look forward to this month in terms of your energy pattern. So I'm giving a few minutes in case there is a little bit of a delay between. So good. So Shelly, a card for you. And your card is and again, there's like your grandmother is quite present. I won't channel any messages, but just know that she's really, really present for you. And part of her invitation, this side of the screen, look deeper, look deeper. So deep within me is a majestic radiance. Deep within me is a majestic radiance. So your invitation this month, Shelly, as you choose your intention to emerge into grace, to go through all that muck and all the difficulties and the letting go of your personal transformation, your goal is that you will find your treasure within, because your treasure is within you. So it's not about looking outside for your answers. It's really about going inside for your answers. And as you let go of clutter, as you let go of beliefs, as you let go of old emotions, it's like peeling that onion, peeling the layers. It's like the snake letting go of the old skin so that you can really emerge more you, more radiant, more blissful. And so just know that all this work, even if it may feel overwhelming or dangerous, because the ego says, don't let go of that stuff. The ego will find it's too dangerous. But just know that if you stick to it, you will find that bliss, because you will find yourself and more self-confidence. And I know from experience that this feels so good. So I really encourage you to follow through and do those actions of clearing. You will love it by the end of the month. So there you go, some encouragement for you, Shelly. Stephanie, there we go. Now it's your turn for your card. Stephanie, for some reason, I'm feeling some bird-like energy around you. There's a bird. I'm not sure if it's a blue jay, so I don't know if that's one of your animals. But there's a bird, and I'm seeing it kind of at your feet. So are you ready to take flight into something, or are you just enjoying nature? Just see how bird energy can show up for you this month. So your card and suddenly my right ear just started itching a little bit. So remember, as Stephanie, as you tune into your spirit animals, there's going to be some important divine messages and downloads coming for you. So your uncle comes to you. How interesting. So we have Shelley's grandmother and your uncle. So, and Cancer is family. So this might be a good month to channel some family that's on the other side, right? Oh, interesting. Well, hello to your uncle. And the message is healing the past. Healing the past. And the affirmation is, I step into my future with strength and clarity. I step into my future with strength and clarity. And knowing that you always grow taller with the strength of your ancestors also, right? We need that strength, we need the wisdom to grow taller. And at the same time, we don't need to carry their junk. We don't need to carry their clutter. We don't need to carry their pain. But we can acknowledge that pain and transmute it and open up differently. Does that make sense? So you're healing the past, and as you heal the past, your past, ancestral past, it's going to have positive repercussions in your life now and in future generations as well. So you're right here. So we're so connected, Stephanie. so so that is something that's for you to really look into. So messages that are coming from your ancestors, coming from your spirit animal. So really listen this month, knowing that things are going to heal. And you might have some things in the throat chakra as well, because ears and throat are related. So work on anything that is blocking your throat chakra. And what might that be? Are there truths that you need to say that you're not saying right now? Is there self-expression? Are you really expressing your true self, or are you expressing what you think other people want to hear from you? Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff going on. So that is part of your emotional healing this month, is healing that self-expression. All right, so let's see if that makes sense. It's going to be deep healing. It's going to be uncomfortable, and it can also be done. And you've got this, and I'm here for you, also to support you if you need to. So Shelley's saying you've been seeing repeated numbers all the time. Those are often signs and communications from the other side, because math, as difficult as we might think that it is, going through grade school, math was not what I preferred. But math is an easy language for, and numbers is an easy language for spirits on the other side to communicate with us. So if you see those repeated numbers all the time, just say hello. That's what I see. That's what I say. So when I see like 1111 or 222 or 333, whatever it is, I always say, hey goddess, or hello angels, or hello ancestor, whoever I feel is present for me. So it's just a hello. It doesn't have to be any more woo than that. It's a hello from the other side, and that feeling that you're always surrounded, always loved unconditionally. So there we go. Cheryl, hi, how are you? Yes, I do have a card. I have time for a card for you. some solar plexus stuff for you, Cheryl, this month, perhaps. So, is that about boundaries? In solar plexus, we do have boundaries, and that is part of the messages of the second new moon Cancer, and also confidence. But for you, it seems more it's about the boundaries, because I'm kind of seeing the Cancer and the pincer going, like this. Like, so there's something that you want to protect more than anything else. So what would that be for you that you feel that you need to protect? So that's something that you might want to journal. And if you need to, in June, you did receive a whole lot of crystals for the solar plexus chakra, so there might be one in there that wants to come and play with you. So your card, Cheryl, is starting fresh. So you see that all the seasons are there, night and day. And the affirmation is, a wonderful new beginning is blossoming in my life. A wonderful new beginning is blossoming in my life. So with that kind of need of protection, is that something that you need to let go so the new beginning can happen? Or is it something that you need to bring to you and cherish so that this new beginning can happen? So play with that, see what is true for you as you navigate this month in Cancer, this lunation in Cancer, with a deep emotional healing. So a wonderful new beginning is blossoming in my life. So all this work, the clutter clearing, the accepting to go on a new inner journey, all that is going to help you feel renewed, feel refreshed, and be open to the new opportunities. So really keep yourself open. Your eyes, your ears, your feelers, keep that open for new opportunities, and be willing to explore something that might be a little bit different that you haven't done before. And just play with that energy. And it's going to be beautiful. And it's also scary because it's new and your ego doesn't know what it is. And you might want to strategically plan what it is, but the invitation is to allow it to unfold. So yes, isn't it fascinating? So there we go. This is the new moon in Cancer reading with the oracle cards. So to wrap this up, so we have emerging into grace, so accepting to go through the muck and knowing that real emotional healing is not all happy times and rainbows and lollipops, but it's like that lotus flower. You have to go through the muck to emerge and blossom at the top. And we do that by the clutter clearing, emotional, mental, physical clutter clearing, letting go of old beliefs, letting go of old emotions, and letting go of stuff that no longer support you. Then by the new moon, launching your journey. So by the new moon, if you've let go, if you've done that homework, then you'll be able to say yes to a new adventure, whatever that might be for you. And with that new adventure, it's going to be so pleasant, a whole lot more bliss and joy and flow in your life. So just like giving birth, the pain of that birthing your new self, the pain of healing is really going to be worth it to bring more joy and bliss in your life. So have fun with the journey. Journal, because you might want to refer to this month later on in your life, because you might have some deep insights that you might not know the importance right now, because if it's painful, if you're going through transformation, you might not fully understand everything because you're in it, but later on you might understand more what's been happening. So I invite you to journal what's going on. And again, if you need help, if you need support, I do have space in my calendar for new coaching clients. So it can be the one session. So a goddess wisdom session, or it can be a more full coaching program. So send me a message and let's see how I can support you in your transformation journey. You're all very welcome. I'm giving you all a really big hug from my heart to yours, and talk to you soon.